Ladies and gentlemen, please be upstanding as we welcome the man of the moment and his two boys, Stephen, Caleb and Jacob. For your bridal party. Ladies and gentlemen, may I have the pleasure of welcoming Michelle and her dad, Adam. Let's have a big cheer for Michelle. Please be seated. Can anyone speak here? Are we all a bit? Oh. May I just start, Stephen, you don't need to speak for a while, you're fine. Thank you. May I just start by saying, Stephen, you look absolutely fantastic, but oh my goodness, Michelle, you are simply stunning. Let's hear it for Michelle. She looks beautiful. We're determined to get her crying some point during the service, so it looks like we'll just all be the ones crying. Absolutely beautiful. We are here today to witness and to celebrate the marriage of Michelle and Stephen. On this day, their very special day, they have chosen to share their love with all their closest family and friends. So therefore, on behalf of Michelle and Stephen, may I give you a huge thank you for coming here today from near and far to celebrate their wedding day. In particular, I would like to welcome guests from Texas and Arizona. Where are you all? Oh, welcome to Scotland. I'd also like to welcome people from Northern Ireland. Always the biggest cheer from Northern Ireland. And of course Ireland, who's here from Ireland? Lovely. The kids are behaving themselves, so you're fine. And of course England, who's travelled up from England? Yeah. And of course it goes without saying, let's have the biggest cheer for everybody who's local and has come from Scotland to celebrate with us today. So the pressure's really on to have a fantastic wedding after all that air miles that we've covered to get here. Family and friends, there is no giving away of Michelle today. She has had the privilege of walking down the aisle with her dad, Adam. He was the first man to love her unconditionally, and today Adam proudly walked her down the aisle into Stephen's arms. And what a great job you did. Big cheer for Adam. I think just before we go any further, now would be a good time to mention and remember Michelle's best friend, Laura. Laura was so involved with Michelle during all the planning of today and was super excited about your wedding day. But you know she'll be watching you from afar and cheering you both on. Michelle and Stephen, marriage is not the denomination of one or the other, but exists for the benefit of you both. Respect yourselves and respect and kindness for each other. This will enable the bond between you to grow even stronger and will be an excellent foundation for your marriage to grow on. Now, often when I speak about a couple's personal story, I have a few anecdotes and a few stories to share. Stephen, by God, Stephen can talk. He gave me over 2,000 words. So you'll be glad to hear that I'm not using all 2,000 of them. Otherwise, it'll be 8 o'clock by the time you all get your dinner tonight. So here is a summary. They met. They fell in love. And they're getting married.
That was over 2 years.
Okay, so we'll have a bit more detail. So Michelle and Stephen actually met properly in 2015, but their story goes back a lot further than that. Because actually, it goes back 20 years. Both of them grew up in Houston, went to Houston Primary and Greif Secondary School. Michelle had a childhood friend called Caroline, and whose party she would go to, and obviously being Caroline's friend. Caroline had an older brother, Stephen, but she just couldn't have picked him up in a line out. Stephen, when asked who his sister's friends were, could have named every single one of Caroline's friends, except a Michelle. Pictures of surface sense of these two being young, being at parties, being yards apart from each other, but neither one can recall each other. I think it was always meant to be then, really, wasn't it? Fast forward to March 2015 when they met in a bar. They started talking and a day hasn't gone by since without them talking to each other. As they conversed that night, Michelle clicked that Stephen was in fact Caroline's brother and that Georgian had been Michelle's mum and dad's milkman. It certainly is a small world in Houston. They hit it off straight away, swapping numbers and social media profiles. Michelle saw this funny, handsome man. I just remind you, Stephen, put this bit in. But when Stephen looked at Michelle's profile, all he saw was cats. And Stephen thought, oh God, she's a bit catty. However, you managed to overlook the cattiness because he was so attracted to our lovely Michelle. Their first day to Amaretto in Bridge of Weir was perfect. They were made for each other. They chatted like they'd known each other for years and years. The only disappointment that night was when the waiter asked if they wanted a dessert after their main meal. And of course, Stephen said, no, I'm fine, thanks. And Michelle, who really did want a dessert, thought she'll be polite and say, no, thanks. She was trying to impress. It only discovered later that it was actually Stephen just being tight, not wanting to buy a dessert. Nothing to do with the fact that he wasn't hungry. So as they drove home and the long drive home, obviously the long way around, as you would do on your first date, at the end of the night, Stephen was faffing and taking a bit long to move in for the kill. So Michelle just thought, oh, stuff it, and dived in for a kiss. It's too late to be blushing, Michelle, it's too late to be blushing. And that was it, and that was the start of their love that brings us here today to celebrate them. Stephen was introduced to Michelle's parents, and her dad gave his approval. The first time he had approved of any of Michelle's boyfriends, so he must have been special. Or you were just desperate to get rid of her, one or the other. But there was another man in Michelle's life whose approval would make or break the relationship. Sooty, the cat. Despite Stephen screaming, "Get him off me!" the first time that they met, the two of them quickly became best friends. And Michelle would often come home from work and find the two of them cuddling and smooching on the couch, watching telly. It's just a big softie after all, isn't it? So, before we came here today, ladies and gentlemen, love is shown in many ways. Love can be shown in big gestures, big momental gestures, but it also, as we know, is the small things that we love about each other, day-to-day things that really matter. So before we came here today, Michelle and Stephen have given me 5 reasons why they love each other, and they don't know what other one has said. So this is as much as a surprise to them as it is to you. I shall start with Michelle's to Stephen's. I love that he is genuinely a good, kind person and will help anybody out. Nothing is too much trouble for him. Who agrees? Yeah. I love that he is the best dad. I know the boys are well looked after, when loved when he's with them. He's always playing and acting daft with them. And I love when he raps along to Stan or 7 Days, or even his Lord Richard impressions. Maybe that's one for later. You can all ask Stuart, you can all ask me about that later. I love that it could be 10:30 at night and we're in our jammies and he will still run to Asda for me if I ask him and if I need anything. Well trained. And I love the Mr. Bean about him. He is so clumsy. He trips over his big feet all the time. If something is to be broken or spilled, he is your man to do it. And now Stephen's reasons for loving Michelle. I love how great a mum she is to our 2 wee dudes and also the wee furry creature too. I love how she gets tired after 2 glasses of wine, which means I get peace for the rest of the night. I love how she has a great sense of humour. After all, she laughs at his jokes. I love that I know I don't have to worry about her going out partying, as her ideal night is sitting in watching aircraft investigation programmes or doing puzzles. Oh, she's going to go. No. And finally, Stephen says that I love that she accepts me for the very strange person that I am. Family and friends, marriage is not going to suddenly change either Michelle or Stephen or the things they love most about each other. And it's this knowing and respecting what each other needs to be happy and being willing to provide it is what makes them the perfect couple. So Michelle and Stephen, these are the qualities that you treasure most about each other. Remind yourselves of them each and every day, because a successful marriage takes more than just love. And these two already have so much more than just love. Stephen is Michelle's biggest cheerleader. Who makes her feel calm and secure. He even puts up with Michelle having to have their wardrobes in complete colour coordination and item coordination. Or else. And Stephen loves that he doesn't need to pretend to be anyone else. He can watch his rubbish, cheesy TV programmes, listen to his cheesy music. But maybe you could work a wee bit harder at actually closing the kitchen cupboard doors after you've taken something out, just once in a while. No? Okay. And of course, these two knew instantly that they were meant to be together forever. So soon after they moved in together, mostly so that Stephen could leave his minging single man's flat. Shortly after, in November 2016, Caleb was born, and their family was completed in April 2018 with Jacob being born. Oh, butter wouldn't melt in their wee mouths sitting here just now. They're angelic. These boys just mean the world to Stephen and Michelle, and everything they do is for them. Nothing is too much trouble for them. And they like nothing more than spending time together, playing endless amounts of board games, watching films together, belting out songs from the boys' Spotify list in the car or on family holidays. After all this, having the perfect girlfriend and the perfect kids just wasn't enough for Stephen. He wanted to make Michelle his wife. At half-time during a football match, obviously it had to be during a football match, he asked Michelle's dad, Adam, for permission to marry his daughter. Adam replied, "Well, you've already got kids with her, so I can hardly say no." After months and months of planning, Stephen surprised Michelle with the news they were going overnight to their special hotel, Norton House. This visit, Stephen had booked a suite with a huge balcony on it. Michelle was hugely impressed with the size of it, the room and the balcony. Early that evening, Stephen took Michelle onto the balcony and started to act a bit nervous, a bit like what he was doing about half an hour ago. Oh yeah. So Michelle kind of started suspecting what was coming next, so she took a drink and looked beautifully over the balcony, as you would, to turn round to see Stephen on one knee, asking the love of his life to marry him. And of course, it was an absolute yes. However, in July 21, as we know, poor Michelle had a heart attack and her life was in peril. Thankfully, she pulled through and we're all delighted. But is still feeling the effects today from the heart attack. And after Caleb's recent health scare, it's actually just brought them even closer together, and it makes you really realise what is important in life, and that is each other and family. Just before we get these two married, there's a lot of experience in this room, I can tell. There's a lot of marriage knowledge going on. So I think we need to ask for some words of advice from some family members. No. On the subject of love, marriage, life, and whatever you care to give them advice on. So the first person we're going to ask is Michelle's cousin, Lorna Stevenson. Hi, Lorna.
Hi. I was so happy to be asked to share some words of wisdom today by Michelle. It's not often I'm asked to do that, so I thought I would take the opportunity when it was presented. In my life, if I've ever had to think of any wisdom, I always think about Michelle and I's Nana, and she would have loved to have been here today to see Michelle marry and Stephen. So my Nana had a lot of wisdom in her life. One of the things she taught me at an early age, which was that never ever trust cats. They will jump at your throat and they will rip it out. Unfortunately, Michelle and Stephen have chosen to ignore that. So the second piece of wisdom she gave me was something that was passed down to her. And she said, for any successful marriage, you have to think, wherever you are, let your wind flow free. In the church, in the chapel, just let it rattle.
Fantastic, fantastic. Thank you very much, thank you very much. And next we're going to ask Michelle's aunt, Jackie.
Hi.
Hi.
I didn't know I was doing this the last minute. Thank you for having us, Michelle and Stephen. What I'd like to say is a great marriage is not when the perfect couple comes together. It is when the imperfect couple learn to enjoy their differences.
Fantastic. Excellent advice. You did well for a last minute, Aunt Jackie. Excellent. And Michelle's friend, Andy Young.
I've been looked into this. So Michelle texted me 2 days ago saying, could you give us a bit of advice on marriage? So I decided to rattle through my brains and I came up with a scene. So there's a really famous nature programme that David Attenborough did, and I compare it to marriage. So it's a baby iguana and it is born into the Galapagos Islands or anything. Amazing start to its day. Bounces up out of the sand and looks for the island and has to get to the end. And as it bounces up and makes its way to the island, thousands of racer snakes are trying to eat it and strangle it and kill it. As the baby iguana keeps going, it gets grabbed by one snake, it escapes, it gets grabbed by another snake and it escapes. And it keeps going and going and going and until it gets to the top of this beautiful island. So I would say that marriage, sometimes you might want to kill your husband, sometimes you might want to strangle him, but it's a marathon. If you keep going and going and working on it, you'll get to that island on the Galapagos Island. So Michelle, I'm really, really proud of you, so well done today.
Fantastic. I have to say, your outstanding advice so far. Well done, Andy. That was fantastic. And Stephen's cousin, Ewan.
Well, I think it's all might be kind of dirty question because the ceremony's about to get a bit longer. Stephen asked me a couple of days ago to talk and give advice on marriage and stuff, and I thought it's good that he asked an experienced camp-really for sale. It's over 61 days so far. Well, in all seriousness, for you to ask me to do this, obviously, is a privilege. And I watched you a couple of years ago, obviously, look after the boys when Michelle was in the hospital and everything, and it just shows how far you've came as a family, and we can't miss you for more, but more happiness and health together and be each other's biggest supporters for the rest of their lives.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And finally, but by no means least, Stephen's friend, Murray.
It's a privilege to be asked, but panic mode set in. So past 48 hours I've been racking my brain trying to come up with some words of wisdom for the bride and groom. Good thing is, I know the hell out of each other now, right? Without having to worry about it and get away with it, because divorce is the expensive thing. I know Stevie likes to be tight at times, so
yeah.
He's not paying for that. In marriage, one of you is always right and the other one's Stevie. Bit of advice for Stevie. You asked Michelle if he was sitting down and watch TV or something, and he said, do you want anything in the kitchen? Just around double of what you're getting, even if Michelle said no. Say just an extra lastly, just enjoy every day like the last. Make each other smile and laugh and just have fun. And enjoy it.
Fantastic. Thank you, Murray. What an amazing set of advice from all the family friends. Thank you so much. And you know, the wedding was planned about 2 years ago, so I'm not quite sure you had 2 days' notice. It's just that I've been telling them for months and months, you know. Now, just before we marry Michelle and Stephen, and before we exchange their wedding vows, I'd like to ask for a bit of drama. Does anyone know of any lawful impediment or any just cause why this couple should not be married now? So, speak now or forever hold your peace. Yep, we're all good. We're all good. Would you two like to come in and stand in the middle? Yep. Very slowly. Take your time. No, that's fine. Come a bit closer. Like it's your wedding day. Well, come closer. Do you want to? I'll give your flowers. Okay. If you want to hold hands. Thank you. Now, Michelle and Stephen, the symbolic vows you are about to make are a way of saying to each other, you know all these things we've promised and hoped and dreamed of? Well, it's now the time to mean every single word of it. Please look at each other and remember this moment in time. Because before this moment in time, you have been many things to each other. Acquaintances, friends, companions, lovers, accomplices, and even teachers, because you've learned so much from each other. After this ceremony today, your lives will take on a new dimension, and you can say to the world with so much pride that this is my husband and this is my wife. Now, Michelle and Stephen have written their own personal vows, so we're going to share them. Stephen, would you like to go first, please?
Actually, before I do, there's something I need to do.
Okay, I'll wait here.
Caleb and Jacob, can you come here a minute? Listen, boys. 4 years ago, right, Daddy asked Papa if he could get permission to marry Mummy, and he said yes, right? And then he asked the cat, and the cat said meow, which I think means yes, right? But Daddy needs one last wee bit of permission, okay? Is it okay for Daddy? Can Daddy marry Mummy? Yeah. Yeah. Come here. Right, listen, boys, having you here is so important, right? And we both love you so, so much, right? You're just the best boys in the world, okay? Oh, hi. Stand there a wee minute, Kels. Right, listen. Now, this isn't just Daddy committing to Mummy today. Daddy's also committing to you two, okay? We're committing that as good as this family has been, it is now, and it's going to be even bigger, better and stronger, okay? And that's me committing to yous as well. Okay? Now, listen, just one last wee thing, right? Mummy and Daddy are about to get some wedding bands, right? But rings are a bit boring, aren't they? So, Daddy's got special wedding bands for you, Tam. Okay, so give me your wee hand. Look. There we go. Alright. Mummy and Daddy's wedding band, right? There you go. Alright. There we go, love yous. Okay, go and sit down. Sorry.
You ready?
Huh?
You ready to go now? You good?
So now it's... Okay. So, here we go.
Yep.
Michelle, the day I met you, my life changed for the better, but my bank balance for the worse. From day one, we just clicked and everything seemed right. You're warm, caring, loving and fun, and I can't imagine a life without you. Today's about formalising and putting icing on the cake of our family, but you've been a McNeil for years just without the official surname. I promise to make you my #1 priority, well, except when the football's on. I promise to always make you a coffee in the morning. I promise to keep putting the washing away in item type and colour order. I promise to keep doing things wrong so that you can do your favourite thing, moan at me. And I promise to always do everything possible to make you happy and see the most amazing thing, a smile on your face. Love you.
Stephen, I promise to always squeeze the toothpaste from the bottom up, as I know how much it upsets you. So let's keep it in the middle. I promise to try not to let my OCD perfection issues mar the great effort you put into things, even when they're not done the way I would do them. I promise to always have your back no matter what, just as long as it's not Sooty or the boys you're up against. Thank you for everything you've done for me and our sons. I couldn't have asked for a better dad to them. Thank you for looking after me when I was ill, and thank you for taking a step back and letting me be the designated parent to stay with Caleb when he was in hospital. You didn't even question who should do that. You just let me stay at the hospital and you took care of things at home. Thank you also for agreeing to pay for all of Sooty's medical bills. He was without a doubt the most expensive cat in the world. And I can't wait to see what life throws at us. I know we'll be absolutely fine as long as we're together.
Just beautiful, beautiful vows. Do you want to stand a bit closer and hold hands?
Hello.
Stephen, will you now please make your formal vows to Michelle in the presence of all your family and friends? I call upon these persons here present
I call upon these persons here present
to witness that I, Stephen,
to witness that I, Stephen,
take you, Michelle,
take you, Michelle,
to be my lawfully wedded wife,
to be my lawfully wedded wife,
to have and to hold
to have and to hold
from this day forward,
from this day forward,
for better, for worse,
for better, for worse,
for richer, for poorer,
for richer, for poorer,
in sickness and in health,
in sickness and in health,
to love, respect and cherish,
to love, respect and cherish,
so long as we both shall live.
so long as we both shall live.
Thank you. And now, Michelle, will you just repeat after me? I call upon these persons here present
I call upon these persons here present
to witness that I, Michelle,
to witness that I, Michelle,
take you, Stephen,
take you, Stephen,
to be my lawfully wedded husband,
to be my lawfully wedded husband,
to have and to hold
to have and to hold
from this day forward,
from this day forward,
for better, for worse,
for better, for worse,
for richer and poorer,
for richer and poorer,
in sickness and in health,
in sickness and in health,
to love, respect and cherish,
to love, respect and cherish,
so long as we both shall live.
so long as we both shall live.
Well done. Ladies and gentlemen, for those who wish to join me, please join me in a prayer for Michelle and Stephen. Lord, bless this beautiful couple with love and hope, we pray. Keep alive forevermore the vows they have pledged today. May you bless their dreams and visions and keep them always safe. May peace and joy be with them now on this, their wedding day. Amen. Well, I think you've served your apprenticeship long enough. I think we should just get you married now. Caleb. Right. Just take them out the bond. Just pause for a wee second.
Sorry for leaving you standing. Can I have to do that though? Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, now we're good.
I'm more calmer than I was. Here we go.
Here you go. Give them to me, darling.
Give them to Susan.
Pop them in here. Thank you. Well done, boys.
Thanks, boys.
Well done. Who's greedy and get 3 rings?
Engagement rings.
Wedding rings serve as a symbol of the vows you have just made. They are an outward and visible sign of an inward and invisible love which binds your lives together. As rings are without edge or seam, having no beginning and no end, so they symbolise the perfection of love and also which knows no end. Stephen, will you please take Michelle's rings and you place it on the fourth finger of her left hand.
You do one at a time? No?
So do you want?
Yeah,
We'll do both. There we go.
and repeat after me.
Push it down.
Michelle, with this ring I wed you.
Michelle, with this. Let's try. Let's take it. Michelle, with this ring I wed you.
My love and respect I give to you,
My love and respect I give to you,
and all my worldly goods
and all my worldly goods
I share with you.
I share with you.
Please wear it as a symbol
Please wear it as a symbol
of my love.
of my love for you.
And then pop them on.
You
can help Michelle.
I done.
Okay,
Yeah, done.
perfect. And Michelle, do you want to take and place it on the fourth finger? And if you just hold it in place and say after me, Stephen,
Stephen,
with this ring,
with this ring,
I wed you.
I wed you.
My love and respect I give to you,
My love and respect I give to you,
and all my worldly goods
and all my worldly goods
I share with you.
I share with you.
Please wear it as a symbol
Please wear it as a symbol
of my love for you.
of my love for you.
Perfect.
There we go.
Almost. Oh, yep, we're on. We're on, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
We're on. We have the rings on. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Ladies, you're just going to stay here. Hold hands. So, Michelle and Stephen, you have fulfilled the formalities required by custom and law to establish a relationship of marriage. You have expressed the love and respect you have for each other and signified your intentions for your future lives together. And during this time, remember the sincerity of the vows you have just made, as this will help the love we have witnessed between you today grow even stronger, and it is what will make this marriage thrive. Michelle and Stephen, before your family and friends, it now gives me so much pleasure to pronounce you husband and wife. Now, just to conclude the ceremony, we are going to sign the schedule while we listen to some beautiful music. So I'd like to invite Caroline and Stuart up, please, while we sign the marriage schedule. Okay. Congratulations. Just take a seat each. Do you want a hand? Yeah. Here, do you want a hand? Okay, I'll just push it in. Okay. Do you want to come around the side, Stuart? Now we're going to use this. Is that when you use this, we need to be really low and slanted because it's obviously a fountain here, okay? So Stephen, you're signing up here where it says signature, and then Michelle, you're there, and your maiden name's at the top. Okay, and then we'll just bring it over the other sides here. So if you want to sign it there, Caroline, your full name in block capitals. Oh no, sorry, your signature in there, yeah. Just keep the pen nice and low. Not the other way around. Maybe need to keep it low. Do it at an angle. Nope, the other way. The other way down, makes it sure. I know it's really difficult like that. So you've got to kind of do it just the best you can. That's it. Smashing, thank you. I know it is, it's very difficult. So you want to just keep the pen really low when you sign it, and you're going to put your name, your signature in there. Okay. Now do you two just want to, the photographers when they come, you want to just hold the pen? to do now is just walk back to the middle. I'm going to pronounce you Mr. and Mrs. and then we're going to leave walking down the aisle, okay? Do you want to come round? Yeah? Yeah, thanks. Do you want to go back to your seat, darling? Stephen, we're just going to walk into the middle. I'm just going to pronounce you Mr. and Mrs. and give a cheer and then you're ready to leave, okay? Congratulations. So just holding hands. Ladies and gentlemen, please be upstanding as I have the greatest of pleasures in presenting to you Mr. and Mrs. McNeil. If the bridal party, do you want to follow round? You want to, yeah, the parents want to go round. And the bridal party can follow round.